Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is December the 18th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Today was a fight. We had to get through it, y'all, from top to bottom. We had to go for it, and we got it. We did it. It's hump day today. Hump back, that's for sure. But overall, a good day. I'm happy about it. I got a smile on my face as I'm talking to y'all. So let's just talk about it a little bit, and then we can get into some news, as is tradition. So I wake up, and I gotta say, Backgate is still ongoing. I think I'm pointing out the culprits. It's down to two. One, my broke ass bed, because I've had this bed for like way too long, and I need to get a new one. But more on new things I need to get and why that is not a priority. Back still a bit of a problem, kind of comes and goes in terms of the pain. I'm trying to do a little more stretching, things like that, but we move. So we're like, okay, we got to go to work. We got to do it. But I'm already like feeling it where I'm just like, I think I need to take some time. Like, the burnout is real. The incentives are over. There's no reason for me. And I realized, I'm like, Isaiah, what is making you go in today? Because sometimes you just got to ask yourself that question, right? Period. But I was like, because you have enough PTO. You're good. You could start taking some time off. Start scheduling that. What's up? And I'm like, I need to see if I can work the Saturday. That's why we're going in to find out. And I'm like, okay, bud. But like after we figure this out, I think we need to start thinking about taking some time, either this week or next week, whatever. You take your pick. Like I'm having this mental conversation with myself, and it's raining. And my car, as I've said in previous episodes, is not doing too hot. It's struggling. It's got a lot of issues. So part of those issues are the bald ass tires on this fucking car. It's bad. It's not good. And it's really wet. And also I have this other issue where when it rains, it like leaks into the belt or something to that effect, and that can fuck up the car while I'm driving. So that's a bit of a little scary twist. Also, I got the mounts or whatever in the steering, so I'm driving crooked, and I'm realizing this is I'm like faux hydroplaning, struggling to get to work. Also, I mean, there's so many other little random problems with this thing, and I'm just like, yeah, we need to, one, take some time off. Two, we probably need to use this time to find a new car. So that's going to be the new mini quest over the next day or so. So knock on wood, send a prayer for me. I don't know, do your little rituals, spell for your boy, because we need to get a new one. We need to get a decent one, something we can work with, and we're broke. So we'll see. We'll see how if I can pull it out. A little bit of a Christmas car miracle, if you will. But I was just like, this is too much. This is stressing me out. Like, I shouldn't be this stressed out on a 15-minute drive to work in town. Like, you know what I mean? A turnaround, roundabout-y little situation shouldn't be fucking me up here. You know what I mean? So, bypass, whatever we're calling the little thing that you have to do. It's another story. We'll save that for another podcast. The roadway. Anyway, so already starting off to a wet but rocky start. No. That's fun. I get to work, and I'm trying to get at this cardboard, because it's really, we're still in the thick of it, even though we're supposed to be in peak but towards the slow end of peak, and it doesn't feel that way. I'm realizing though, hey, it doesn't look like we have to work Saturday, but they'll keep me posted on the today and yada yada. So I already put in the 2 days, so like I said, I'm gonna be off doing that. But apparently, because things are so crazy and the pickups got so messed up, one of the supervisors comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, Isaiah, we got another pickup coming early." And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And he proceeds to say to me, "So I need you to work as fast as you can to fill up the crusher so that they have something, so we're not wasting the load." And I realize this is where I really do have my 10 years in or whatever, because I kind of immediately snap back, or not snap back, I don't even want to say that, but I'm like, well, you know what might help if you send someone else down. That could help. And he kind of blankly looks at me and then like goes, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, just make sure you get as much in as you can. And I'm like, okay. Y'all, I proceed to have a little fucking powwow at my shit with the maintenance. Maintenance comes to me on this one, and we're talking shit. We're looking at new cars and shit. Fuck that. Fuck that shit, dude. It's so lame. Like, what do you... Like, I'm not moving fast enough. It's such bullshit, dude. I was surprised at this, because this is the same kind of guy who comes up to me. He's like, hey, make sure you're not doing the thing that you just shouldn't be doing right now. It's essentially like working on another cardboard project. It's like, okay, dude, I already know that. You always say this shit like clockwork. I don't need to hear it, but okay. But I've started doing that now, where I go, hey, if you really care about this shit so much and you guys don't want to surf on cardboard upstairs, why don't you send somebody down? I know you can. You have dead weight when it's slow and you send them down to me. Why don't you do it now? And they won't. They have them on other projects. So needless to say, I was on my own. I didn't give a shit. They did the changeover. But then they finally, on the second shift, will send me people. And so I got, and not just one, but two people. So I was literally a glorified button masher. I was just hitting the button, a little bit of directing traffic, because they get told one thing and I have to tell them another thing. Example, another reason why my day was so crazy. The other trash compactor that I told you in a previous episode that was having issues, well, it wasn't having issues this time, except the issue being it was filled and they didn't come to change it. I don't know if it was because of some snafu, the best laid plans, but when they added or changed this pickup, they just deleted the pickup that we were supposed to have, or the guy just didn't come. And so we were just left high and dry, or fucking high and stinky. I don't fucking know. And I'm over here getting people blowing down on me like, hey, what's going on here? I need to get this trash in here. It's like, hey, it's filled. You can't. But then I get it to work after I realize that, like, I want to say a quarter through the day, I realize, like, oh shit, it's like filled up or whatever. And I managed to realize, okay, we can fit a few more things in here. We shouldn't do anything else but food trash. I got these guys coming down here, the two guys, my little helpers. They're trying to fill it up with cardboard. It's like, you guys don't do this. And literally the guy goes, but my supervisor told me. And I'm like, but they don't know what we know, what I know. Like, I see that it's filled. Don't do that. You're going to sink this whole operation, dude. Like, I sometimes I can shift into the mode and I can just tell a person what to do, but it has to be over, obviously, some shit that I feel very confident about. I don't like being that guy. I think that's really weird energy, especially when we're peers. There's nothing in my title that outranks me. Like, there's just no reason for that. I hate that energy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I have the fucking experience on this shit. It's my fucking crusher at the end of the day, at least in terms when I'm on the shift. So it's like, it's not your responsibility. It's mine. So please just listen to me. And luckily in the situation, they did. So no complaints, no problems. We got through the shit. I was just ready to go, y'all. It was just stressful, no fun. But after that, the car is still fine, by the way. I am telling you it's fucked up, but overall it is still drivable when it's dry, and luckily the rain stopped. So I take my ass to the gym, and the gym is crazy. The gym is packed. Why is the gym packed? Like, oh, I've become this terrible gym rat. Like, I really have become that guy. I'm going to hate the New Year boomer guys, I guess, that come through, and they're going to be all up in the spot, and, like, maybe that's what this is, I don't know. But there's so many people. I saw a guy, and this almost made me an atheist, I think. I don't know. He was praying on the bench. And I had missed the bench yesterday because there were so many people, and Wednesday's kind of supposed to be the break tide day with less people. I got this guy praying on a bench with multiple, like, dumbbells and a barbell or whatever, I'm like, I was ready to lose my mind. I was ready to lose my mind, dude. And it's not my place. This is a Planet Fitness. No gym intimidation or whatever the fuck they be saying. I got a lunk alarm. I have no right. I have $15 a month. I need to shut my fucking ass up. But I'm like, I just want to work out. Overall, though, I got most of my workout that I wanted done. I think I just have to get smarter about doing, if I can't work this out, I'll work that out. That type of thing. Just get in where I fit in. Overall, it was a good workout, though. I was just really frustrated. There were just so many people. I don't like that. But hey, it's all good. Also, I found out that they're going to be closed the whole day on Christmas. And I'm like, so no pump? End of streak? And I mean, it looks like it's end of streak. I'm not going to go find somebody's garage and be like, let me lift in your house. No, I'm gonna eat some fucking ham. That's what I'm gonna do, y'all. That is the vibe on Christmas. You know, you feel me? For baby Jesus, last Christmas I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. Okay, anyway, sorry. All right, let's get into the mode. I'm gonna drink some water. Actually, I'm gonna hydrate, and then we're gonna get into some news. I know we blogged it up, but why not? I'm giving you the gift of gab for free. I guess adding that it's for free doesn't make it a gift. Damn. Materialism. Got me. Got me. Sorry, technical issues. Ooh. Yummy, yummy. Ooh. Okay. We got an update. Actually, got a couple updates down the pipe from the BBC. Russia detains Uzbek man over general's killing in Moscow. Russia's authorities say a 29-year-old man from Uzbekistan has been detained over the killing of senior general Igor Krylov and his assistant in Moscow. Um, Also, I didn't mention this the other day. This dude had been sanctioned, I think, like very recently by Ukraine, essentially like tried in absentia, and then they blew his ass up. So I guess that's worth mentioning. I didn't mention it then. Um, let's see here. In the statement on Wednesday, um, the SK, which is the motherfuckers who arrested him or whatever, or have him in custody, said the detained man, born in 1995, was a citizen of Uzbekistan. It said he was suspected of committing a terrorist act, and during the interrogation, he explained that he was recruited by the Ukrainian services. So essentially, he was given $100,000, or I think he was told he was going to get $100,000, and he was going to get $100,000 plus a European passport if he successfully did this. So he gets the explosive device. His Ukrainian handlers give him that. It is put into the handlebars of the scooter. He sets up the scooter. He goes to a rent-a-car that he has, and then has a live recording set up for his handlers to see, so they can have it on record or whatever, and then it's apprehended. Excuse me. Ooh, that was rancid. I think they actually have footage of him too, like on the scene with his hoodie. It's also worth noting that his hoodie is like he's seen again, obviously later, and like he looks a little bit more fucked up. At least in terms like you can see his hoodie is a bit fucked up. He's heard saying in Russian that he had been offered a reward of $100,000 and a European passport in exchange for killing Krylov. Which is like, I mean, okay, you get the offer, but you got to get out of there, bro. That seems like a crazy offer. I mean, hey, everyone has a price. I definitely get that. But this seems like some shit out of a fucking movie, and I don't think you could get me to do it. I think I'm not the one. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna suffer through it. I think I'm gonna toil it out if I was that guy. But yeah, I mean, as well as being charged by Ukraine, Krylov had previously been sanctioned by the UK over alleged use of criminal weapons in Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, they talked about him doing some sick shit with some chemicals and like wanting to like put the shit and like pour it over like Ukrainian trenches and things of that nature. Now, in terms of like, response statements from the Kremlin in terms of the shit, they're like, nah, we discontinued all our shit. Yeah, Moscow denies this and says it destroyed the last remainder of its vast chemical stockpile in 2017. I feel like you have to say that and do like a comic wink, like, meh, like, we of course no, never, we would never do that. We just stick to the crazy new stuff. We can just blow up so many people that way. We got cluster bombs, we don't need it. Pshaw. Nah, I'm sure you got some freaky shit. We all do. I know. The U.S. got some freaky shit. UK got some crazy shit. They gonna keep calm and fucking bomb on. That, bro. I'm just saying. Anyway, not to assuage or whatever the fuck from what Krylov had done. Not saying motherfucker had it coming, but yeah, I mean, crazy explosion, crazy boom, 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 and yeah, they got a guy. So there's the update there. Update number 2 from The Guardian. Whaling activist Paul Watson celebrates release from jail after Denmark refuses extradition to Japan. Okay, a couple little fun facts that I learned about Watson that I finally looked up just recently, looking at his ass and finding out that he has young sons, like some little chickadees, 74 years old with little kids. What? This dude is pumping. Wow. I mean, hey, look, dude, never stop. Never stop living, baby. Oh, man, and it's never too late. This is a reminder for me. I shouldn't be a hater. I think my knee-jerk reaction is like, here I am at 34, just chilling in my house, podcasting to my friends. But hey, never give up. Never stop living your dream. And his dream is to save the whales. So let's talk about dude's dream, because it continues on. He's out. He's got his freedom. He got his Christmas miracle. Paul Watson, the anti-whaling campaigner, has spoken of delight that he will be reunited with his young children for Christmas after Denmark rejected Japan's extradition request and released him from prison in Greenland. I don't know. It's just funny that like he's just like, yeah, I can't wait. I gotta get to hang out with my young children. Like, yeah, dude, we get it. You're still fucking pumping, dude. They're not going to college or anything. Good for you. After 150 days in jail on the Danish autonomous territory, Watson, 74, they even mention it here, was told by his lawyer on Tuesday morning that the Danish authorities had decided he was free to leave the island. Watson told The Guardian, at 8:46 this morning, a guard came. I'd just woken up and said the lawyer's on the phone. I'm certainly relieved, as this means I get to see my 2 little boys. That's really been my only concern this entire time. I understand the risks of what we do, and sometimes you get arrested, although I am proud of the fact that I've never been convicted of a crime. Yeah, I mean, essentially they were trying to get him for assault. Yeah, let me just smash this. Tokyo was seeking his extradition on charges relating to the alleged boarding of the Japanese whaling ship Shonen Maru 2 in the Southern Ocean in February 2010. The charges, including one of assault, carried a sentence of up to 15 years in jail. Now, according to Watson, he says, I wasn't even on the ship at the time. Like, I just had this organization, yada, 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 but I wasn't on the ship for this. So there's that. And he also says the assault, that they are alleging is over the fact that they tried to pepper spray with this like long range style pepper spray situation, but I guess because of the wind or whatever, the angle of the dangle, it gets back on them. And that's the only assault that you can allege here, and that's self-inflicted. So, I mean, I feel like that's a valid defense. And in terms of, I believe, the Prime Minister of, I should have this at the ready, but essentially they wanted his extradition. But, yeah, Denmark, okay, it wasn't the Prime Minister. Here we go. It's the Minister of Justice. Explaining his decision, Peter Hummelgaard, Denmark's Minister for Justice, said he had not received sufficient assurances from Japan that Watson's 5 months in jail awaiting extradition would be deducted from any future sentence. I feel like this is kind of a milquetoast, weak response for why he let Watson out, but I do get why he did, because he was in a rock and a hard place here, right? Like, the red notice was in effect, even though like it was kind of like sprung because like essentially I think Japan before had said, "Oh, we're rescinding this," but then on the low they're like, "Nah, run that shit." And so for like Hummelgard or whatever for the Danes, for Denmark. Sorry, I spaced out a little bit there. They have to kind of do the right thing politically here, right? Like you gotta, not let him get away, so to speak. So they apprehend him, they arrest him. He's in jail for 150 days, right? Knowing that potentially he could go to jail for 15 years, right? Up to. That's a pretty long sentence. Now Watson gets a bit dramatic, I dare say, and he goes, "Yeah, if I get sent to Japan, I'm never making it back home ever." It's like, bro, and I've said this before when I last talked about this shit. Look, I respect what the She Shepherds do. I respect what Greenpeace is doing. Kudos to Paul Watson for sticking into this fight. I do think it's kind of cringe a little bit. I hate to say that. I know it makes me a stick in the mud, but like this eco activism, it's just like, hey, we see you doing whaling. Stop whaling. Stop whaling. Stop turning these whales into sashimi in your fucking big old fucking boat, and you can just do it all there. And there's prepackaged now, and people are gonna go and eat all this. Oh man, stop doing that, dude. It's illegal, and they're right. It is illegal. They're expanding this shit onward and onward. But like at the end of the day, you're just being a craw in the mud. Like I don't know. It just never seemed effective when I was watching Whale World or Whale Wars. The world is a vampire. I mean, cool, but I just it wasn't vibing with me. I respected what they were doing. They were right. They shouldn't be doing these whales like that. But like, also, I don't think what you're doing is stopping it. And like, they got the Shonen Maru too. It's bigger, badder. It fucks. So I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem effective. And that being said, I don't like what Japan does in terms of like how they're handling the situation with like. Because you see, like, how these boats are designed. They have these deterrents for the specific reason. So they know that this shit is going to happen. And they're like, yeah, nah, we're still going to keep doing this shit. And we're going to stop you from getting in our way, So it's definitely like a fucked up, tomatoes to Japan on this. Boo, don't wail. Stop wailing. Ah, you're so sexy. Stop wailing. But, I just don't think this is the most effective deterrent. It almost starts feeling like the soup on the Warhols, And like once again, maybe this makes me the boomer asshole, and I'm just out of touch. I'm willing to accept that. I'm totally willing to take that. Okay, you can put the blame on me. All right, that's fine. But I don't know. But that being said, I'm happy he's out, and once again, he gets to see his young little kids. You can give him some Christmas presents. Yay. Awesome. She Shepherd Christmas. And for real, I would not like to see him rot in jail. Like, I don't think he's a bad actor or anything like that in that regard. No, I just think it's like what you're doing is more annoying and less efficient. So that's why I don't dig it. But I get why you feel compelled to do it. Does that make sense? I feel like I said what I wanted to say about that. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing from NPR. A transplanted pig kidney offers a grandmother hope for life without dialysis. Tawana Looney can hardly contain her anticipation as she waits to get wheeled to an operating room at the NYU Langone Health Hospital in New York City for a historic procedure. "It's going to change my life," says Looney, a 53-year-old grandmother from Gadsden, Alabama. She volunteered to become the first living person in the world to get a kidney from a new kind of genetically modified pig. Scientists hope this kind of pig will someday provide an unlimited supply of kidneys, livers, hearts, and other organs that could alleviate the chronic shortage of organs for transplants or transplantation and save thousands of patients every year. So, longtime listeners know I find these little medical stories, I don't know why I said little medical stories, they're big medical stories, but I find these medical stories to be very fascinating, very interesting. Like this is the future of medicine right now, where it's like, hey, we can take this non-human part and genetically alter it, change it enough to make it compatible with the human anatomy and put it in you. That's That's crazy. That's so crazy to me. And like crazy in a good way. Like I don't know, as a kid I never understood stem cells, but I'm like this shit sounds cool. Why do conservative people not want people to have stem cells? The Bible doesn't even talk about this shit. What are we talking about? Just let people have this you're taking them from the baby. I don't know. They were saying crazy shit in the 90s. I could not keep up with my little kid brain. But anyway, I think shit like this is fascinating. Give me the pig parts. I will say though, there's always just like, a bit of bittersweet twist to it where it's like the people who wind up having or getting these procedures are people who are in the worst situation for it. Just a bit on Looney. I know I should have had it queued up, but I don't. But essentially, she gave up a kidney to her mom. Then through, I believe, complications through pregnancy, she wound up needing a kidney herself because her own kidney was compromised. And she's not eligible for another, like a human one. So I think there's just issues with that. There would be too many problems. So she's just not eligible. So essentially the only route that she has would be this, revolutionary. I don't know. Revolutionary sounds crazy word, too spicy. But like just this big surgery. Like this is the only out that you have is this, and this is once again a very common trope where it's like, hey man, the either the way you've lived your life or the life as it is for you, this is your only option. So we kind of have to do the moonshot, and it's also very scary too because in a lot of these situations, months go by, and then it winds up maybe not being the thing. But this is your only hope, right? And so it is a pretty groundbreaking procedure. I think that's the word I was looking for. So, I do like being able to highlight it and talk about it a little bit, right? Let's see. Now, see, they use the word revolutionize. So there you go. Maybe that's where I got it from, a little bit of osmosis there. They do talk about the ethical concerns about that, like, oh, what about the pig, yada yada yada. I shouldn't yada 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 that, but I'm a person who eats meat, so you're not really hitting me with this. I'm like, no dude, like I like that we're using animals for science. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I think that's a good thing. I don't know, call me crazy. Oh, here we go. I had it highlighted. I did have it actually queued up. Looney donated one of her kidneys to her mother in 1999. A few years later, she developed chronic high blood pressure during a pregnancy, and her remaining kidney failed in 2016. Since then, she's been on dialysis for 4 hours a day, 3 days a week. She was literally excited to pee, and I was like, that's so cute. Like, she was just so happy to be able to use the restroom normally. She hadn't been able to do that in about 8 years. So I get it. Like, that's awesome. And to go through all of this so that she can, one, get back to her family, her grandchildren, her children, and then get back to her job at the Dollar General. Like, it's crazy work. Like, and not to mention just the fact that it's like you can't imagine the hoops and shit that you have to go through just to have all this covered, just to rebound post this surgery, and then once again get back to your job that is just like unlimited toil. You know what I mean? Like, it goes back to the frustration with just the system that we have in America. That also makes me, like, once again very upset that you have to go through these historic, revolutionary ass fucking things, but then you have to go back to your meager ass meek life, and you're not going to get compensated. In fact, you're going to be in the hole most likely. You know what I mean? You're going to be in something that we would call, I don't know, debt. But that's going to segue us into our last bit. A bit of a debt problem that we have as not just individual Americans, but as Americans overall, and how our new God Emperor is going to fix it. But let me hold that thought. Oh yeah. Ooh, smoke on the water. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, anyway, from from Axios, Trump opposes Johnson's spending deal to avert government shutdown. Gosh, dude. There's so many times I just keep wanting to say we're so back. We're so back, dude. Like, oh man, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Because I always go to the mental of like, how do the underlings who are literally the guys who are supposed to be like Trump's like homies, like, you know, you're a part of the inner circle, you're a part of the team, you've made it, you sucked and fucked or done whatever you had to do as a guy like Mike Johnson, you know, with your turtle like frame to get where you needed to go. Now you're here and like somehow you didn't get it right. You know, you thought this deal was good. You thought you made a deal that was just going to keep kicking the can down the road. But then Donald Trump says, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Trump card right now. Here you go. Watch out. And says, fucking stop it. And then you have to now recalibrate your whole fucking plan. So I love that. I love that for everyone involved, including myself as an American. So yeah, let's dig in. Let's dive in. President-elect Trump on Wednesday came out against the 3-month spending stopgap introduced by House Speaker Mike Johnson to avoid a government shutdown. Trump's opposition could torpedo the bill just 2 days before the deadline to keep the government running. He further complicated matters for GOP leadership on the Hill with a surprise demand that they raise the debt ceiling, which is something that you're not supposed to fucking do here. Like, this is supposed to be a different issue for a different day. But he's like, no, just slap it on. And the thing is, it's not like he's the only guy doing this shit. Like, that has become a norm to be like, hey, well, we got to do this anyway, so I want to tack on my little fucking culture war shit. Or I want to add on this extra bill here. I'm very certain that both sides do this. It's not just a conservative thing. So it's like, it's annoying because this is not how government should work. Like, when you're told on how Congress works, this is not a part of the nitty gritty that they tell you about because it doesn't make sense. It's backwards and weird and dumb. But it's like, this is all we have, because truly no one has a solution on how we're going to solve this debt problem. So really, Trump is not crazy for saying, hey, I just want the debt ceiling raised, but he doesn't want it to happen on Joe's watch. In fact, he wants this shit to look as bad as possible on Joe's watch so he can come in and ramrod what he wants and get all the credit for any good thing or any good kick the can measure. That's what he wants. So essentially he wants to deny Biden his last win for his legacy. He doesn't want him to have anything for his shit. He's like, you and your big dick son can go fuck off. If I can't throw you in jail, then I'm not giving you the stopgap. You can go fuck off. I don't care. So I love a petty king. I love that shit for him. Go off. Surf. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, the continuing resolution brokered by Johnson will require a 2/3 majority to pass under the supervision of House rules. It's important to note, because I kind of peeped this when I was just surfing on X, the everything app. House Republicans spent much of Wednesday threatening to vote against the legislation, with Elon Musk leading the charge on X. And you have to do this because essentially he's headhunting for Republicans who are not going to agree to just stop this. And it's like, why do you want this? And also, by the way, they're doing this with Pete Hegseth, by the way. Also, since we're talking about weirdo freaks who are, you know, trying to get into the fucking cabinet or whatever, the Matt Gaetz, ethics panel shit, they said they're going to actually release it. They about-faced. I wonder what changed. I haven't looked into the details of that. I really actually wasn't planning on talking about it, but we're just kind of on the subject here. So yeah, they dropped that. I probably should try to get into that. Maybe look into it. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. But yeah, with Pete Hegseth, it looks like he's in better footing, which is crazy because more shit came out about him, that he was just more of a loser, that like he wasn't effective, that he was like really weird with women. This was already old news, but his mom literally sent him an email. They're having an email, which is, by the way, you can send me an email, azanews1@gmail.com. But they're having an email correspondence in which she proceeds to tell him that you are terrible with women. Like, you are a bad person to women. And this shit was like so scathing, so damning. She had to go on Fox News and say, you know what? We worked it out. He's actually so great with women. Actually, ladies in Congress, ladies in, like, you should actually love him. You'll love him. Just let him talk to you. He's so great. He's not bad for women. Like I said, he was. So that's crazy. Good for him. Good for them. I love that. I love that everyone's thriving. Their days vaulting the day, if you will. But yeah, back to, the crisis at hand, because I'm not scared about this, honestly. I used to get cooked about it when I first covered this shit, when I was real green about it. But they do this shit all the time. I've yet to cover a government shutdown. I just know that it's happened before, and it was really embarrassing. So essentially, Trump is saying, I don't care about that. That's on y'all to take that. That's egg on y'all's faces. Just don't do it. Just don't do it for me, period, okay? And that's the lay of the land. So once again, I just love that they're all in this pickle. They all have to fucking kiss the ring one way or another. If they even try to be moderate, they will get fucking primaried. And they know it. They're so scared about it, dude. It's so fucking funny to me. It's just desserts all around. And like, yeah, I'm on the fucking crashing plane. Oh my God, everyone's got a gun. It's crazy up in here. But at least it's a laugh. At least I get to be a part of the punchline. That's the beauty of being in the Imperial Corps. At the end of the day, when it all goes down, you get to eat your baguette in France and say, hey, I saw that coming. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. That's all I really have for today. I don't even mind that. Okay, all right. We're under 40. Young and under 40. Practically a baby. It's a baby episode. Anyway, let's see. If you'd like to help out, support the effort. I know I said it's free, but you can always support the effort. Leave a little tip, if you will. Do it every month if you might. But you do become a newsie. I shout you out at the top of the month. I plug your name. I plug a project if you like. It's like a baby cameo experience, right? Like, it's like you could just say, hey, man, I want you to, like, shout out my friend for the birthday. I don't know. I would do that. I would do that on the top of the... No, I would do that. I would actually shout out your friend on the day of the birthday. I would do that. For $5 a month, I would do it. And you could just be like, all right, I'm done. All right, just one time for the one time. I would do it. I would call you a newsie and I would shout out your homie. So that's the thing. You could do that. Isaiah News wanted, or patreon.com. So Isaiah News. There you go. I don't think I plugged it. It would help if I let you know where it is. I'll plug it in the little bio, but you know. Anyway, Isaiah News wanted gmail.com. Like I said, you can tell me how I'm. Don't send me that. That would really upset me. Don't send me that message. Don't Pete Hexeth mom me. I would cry. Damn, you'd hit me right in the ribs. Say something nice though. Send me an email like that kind of nice email. Like that'd be cool. Like I was Tom Hanks and you were Meg Ryan. That's what I think when I think of emailing correspondence. Anyway, did they even do that? I'm gonna be real. Maybe that was even AOL. I don't know. It's been too long. Anyway, x.com. Meta, I'm there. You can find me or the podcast. Please subscribe to the YouTube. We'd love to see that. Trying to get to 500 and then go from there. You know what I mean? We're trying to grow. Get bigger. But yeah, hit the subscription. Subscriptions are free. Oh no. We're fading. We're falling. Hit the like button. Leave a nice comment. We love nice comments. Sharing is caring. It can be fun. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.